I think like 96% of marriages in India are arranged marriages. And among that, 45% of them are at risk for divorce because of parental interference.
They say when you marry a person, you marry their family. But in India, it seems like you marry their family, their bua, their mohalle wali auntie, their astrologer, even the household dog.
And so Indian scriptures actually tell you, it guides parents to back off. It tells you to just leave the grahaprasthasan, which is basically your household chores, and move on to detachment.
Our matchmakers have seen every family dynamic imaginable, and today they're spilling all the tea.
As mother-in-laws, now we're very scared of our daughter-in-laws also. वरना वो हमारे बेटे को लेके चली जाएगी, right?
Is your beta like a 5-year-old?
Exactly.
Your son is the CEO of a company.
You don't need to become a bad son to be a good husband. You can be a good son and be a good husband.
In today's Ask the Matchmaker, we get into the questions that everybody's just a little afraid to ask.
Do you think that there's some level of we went through something, so I want to put my future daughter-in-law through the same thing?
Nobody really thinks about being the cycle breaker. It's always been like, हमारे साथ ऐसा हुआ था तो इसके साथ भी ऐसे ही होगा.
To parents who insist that they're totally modern, बहुत broad-minded.
I want the girl to be very ambitious, but also like be willing to leave her job after marriage.
Until it comes to matters of caste, religion, city, language, job.
And we've allowed her to work. It's her choice.
Yeah.
Allowed.
Yeah.
From mothers who think that no one is good enough for their son.
हमारी बहू ज्यादा सुंदर होनी चाहिए. पूरे मोहल्ले में सबसे सुंदर मैं बहू लेके आई.
तुम लेके आए हो, ठीक है.
Don't hate us, mummies and daddies.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask a Matchmaker, tackling your relationship woes with our relationship pros.
No topic is more rife with drama, spice, than navigating parental dynamics in the marriage process. So that's our topic for today. And I really want to start off by asking you guys, we've heard the perennial challenge with the mama's boy.
Yeah.
I've dealt with my fair share. That interesting and it's so integral relationship between mother and son, to what extent has it played a role in folks finding their life partner?
In India, I think people of our like parents' generation, the husbands are sometimes emotionally unavailable to their wives.
Yeah.
Sometimes these mothers, they start, channeling their emotional needs onto their sons. It's called spousification of a child. And, you start expecting your child to fulfill your emotional needs, filling the void that the father has created or the husband has created in their lives. And sometimes it goes to a very unhealthy space where, you feel really empty when the child gets married or when that attention gets diverted to another. And it's so like unconscious that they don't realize that it's happening.
It's at a very deep psychological level. So when the concept of another woman comes into the picture, how does that threaten a mother of a son?
I think it's identity crisis basically, because I've been known as a mother to this child for 20-25 years.
I think you need to have a really secure relationship with your child to let another person enter their life and not feel threatened by them, right? If, of course, it's like an extension, it's a new relationship that they're building, but it doesn't mean that your existing relationship will suffer just because a new person is entering their life.
But it can feel that way.
It can feel that way.
So what advice would you give to a girl who may be seeing someone but observes that the mother is very overbearing, very involved, and borderline may feel threatened that tum mere bete ko mere se dur kar loge and all that stuff?
I think the most important role in this like triangular kind of a relationship is played by the man.
Yeah.
I know it's not fair, but of course, like you're the link between your mother and, the person you're seeing.
You need to act like a bridge.
You need to act like the bridge. You need to, set healthy boundaries with your parents and make sure, reassure your partner that they will not be made uncomfortable by your family or whoever.
We don't see our parents as individuals, but we see them just as parents. Because I might know that my mom is someone who's super protective about me and she might sometimes go overboard, right? But if I'm aware of it, that is when I can, find a way along with my partner on how to deal with it.
Right.
And I think everyone says this about Indian marriages, that it's like driving a car with your family sitting at the back seats, saying ki nahi left lo, nahi right lo, nahi abhi ruk jao, abhi gaadi aa rahi hai, ruko. So the person who is driving the car is obviously going to hesitate to, even drive it once more or take it forward.
That's a really good analogy. What's an example of a specific issue that a parent has had about like their child's prospect?
ये हमारे साथ सेट नहीं होगी.
Adjust नहीं कर पाएगी हमारे family में.
अच्छा.
Yeah.
It's code for a lot of things, like maybe they don't come from a similar socioeconomic status. Maybe there's a cultural difference.
Maybe the physical attraction part also plays a huge role in
Parents
it.
have an opinion on
Yeah.
physical attraction.
Maybe they feel that they're not docile enough.
And I think also, like, as parents, like my son or my daughter would be like the most beautiful, most amazing
Yeah,
person that
the
I've,
best. God's gift to mankind.
Exactly. And then, but at the same point of time, they do keep their children as something, as a possession, because of which they don't want them to like get into a match who is less attractive according to them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the guy likes dusky girls because he feels that they're
That's his
hot.
preference.
Right? But then the mother is like, okay, we need someone fair so that our lineage is basically someone who have good looking kids.
I think
first.
parents need to start trusting their children a little bit more with their life choices. And you've raised your children well, and I think, of course, you can't hold their hand through everything in life, and it'll just make them more dependent on you.
I mean, I have read that there are 4 stages according to the Indian scriptures, right? So the 4 stages are basically, you have brahmacharya, wherein you're studying, you're upskilling yourself, you're with your parents and all of that. And then the second stage comes to Grihaprasthan. So Grihaprasthan is wherein you're, forming your own family and you're creating your family, you're creating value systems, you're creating a family dynamics and all of that. The third comes into Vanaprasthan. So Indian scriptures actually tell you, it guides parents to back off. It tells you to just leave the Grihaprasthan, which is basically your household chores, and move on to detachment, move on to like not getting interference and not being interfered into things.
But it's wild to me that like moms or parents have opinions on like the appearance of their future daughter-in-law and
Yeah.
son-in-law. Like, gori ladki chahiye. What are the other things that you've heard? This lines.
I think it's more like Gori Ladki Chahiye is of course one of the majority of things, and I also think it's the family backgrounds. कि हमारे पास 100 relative है तो उनके पास भी 100 relative होना चाहिए.
Excuse
Like
me,
they
what?
also need to have a family backup that is as strong as ours.
Interesting.
So
Also, I think in terms of like body type, दुबले पतले हो, अच्छे दिखते हो, things like that.
Crazy.
also choose कि मुझे सिर्फ corporate professionals चाहिए, मुझे सिर्फ business families चाहिए. Of course, when you come from a business families, I do understand that the way things function is very different. But when you talk about corporate professionals, in that also people have choices कि मुझे HR background से नहीं चाहिए.
ये मम्मियाँ मांगती हैं.
हाँ, one of the parents like she literally said that मैं मतलब मेरे साइड वाले बिल्डिंग में HR में एक लड़की काम करती है. So वो ना बहुत सारे लोगों से बात करती है और वो उसको चुप रहना नहीं आता, तो फिर मुझे HR बैकग्राउंड से नहीं चाहिए.
So interesting. So interesting. I have a friend. She is Punjabi
Yeah.
and her partner is from a very traditional Marwari family.
Yeah.
And she's facing a lot of trouble from his family side that she's not from the same community as us. Is this common, and what should one do about that situation?
Very, very common in India specifically.
I think families feel that it's a lot of work to, bring in somebody from a different culture or a different community, and then, instill in them all the values and traditions. But I ask, like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah, but I also feel it's like how much do you follow your own tradition,
Yeah.
right? There are so many households wherein the people in the house, like they might be very religious, they might do pujas every Thursday, every Monday, vrat rakhenge, everything. But is your own child following your traditions? If your own child is not following the same things, right?
It's kind of on them to
Yeah.
integrate and to decide what route they go down.
Yeah.
So what is the wildest thing that you've heard a mother say, either to you guys or to their child?
The mother is very focused on how much the guy makes. For like she has a daughter, and even if the daughter likes a profile that she resonates with, the mother will first ask me about the financials, about assets and all of that. And if it's not up to the mark, then she wouldn't let the daughter talk to.
Oh, she wouldn't even allow it to go forward, even if the girl really liked him. It just wouldn't be a thing.
And I think there's also this one request that I had, which was mostly like, I want the girl to be very ambitious, but also like be willing to leave her job after marriage. Like
So much.
that's a contradiction in itself, right?
Right.
And we've allowed her to work. It's her choice.
Yeah.
Allowed.
Yeah, you
Being the
allowed
keyword
her,
here.
but one of our criteria was she should stop working after marriage. Do you think that there's somewhere like some level of we went through something, so I want to put my future daughter-in-law through the same thing because I had to go through that?
I think a lot of times, like, nobody really thinks about being the cycle breaker. It's, it's always been like, हमारे साथ ऐसा हुआ था, तो इसके साथ भी ऐसे ही होगा. Like, I think like Hindi daily soaps are to be blamed for the villainization of like, in-laws and mother-in-laws. Entire generation is just scared of mother-in-laws now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
और मैंने तो ये भी सुना है काफी लोगों से कि as mother-in-laws now we're very scared of our daughter-in-laws also. They feel they're the generation who were scared of their mother-in-laws and now they have to like work really hard to keep their daughter-in-law happy, वरना वो हमारे बेटे को लेके चली जाएगी, right? वो हमारे बेटे को हमारे खिलाफ कर देगी.
Yeah.
But my question is like, is your beta like a 5-year-old?
Exactly. Like वो कभी भी मतलब he'll just be manipulated by a wife. Like ऐसे होते हैं. They believe women are so चालाक.
Your son is the CEO of a company, is running like multiple companies. How is it possible that a girl?
She must be
Exactly.
really smart. She
Yeah.
must be so
If he
चालाक.
can take a decision of 100 crores, then he can take a decision of just one person entering his life, right?
Exactly.
But I think it also comes to the fact that mother knows it best.
I think what's unhealthy and people don't recognize it is enmeshment between families. Like it's the blurring of the boundaries. It's not normal. Like, families can be very close. You can have a really, really close relationship with your parents or with your siblings. But when it enters a territory where your emotions, codependency, or your emotions are being influenced by how they feel or, what they say, it's a problem and it should be addressed. It's very
Otherwise, it's very difficult for the person who's entering that family dynamic.
And I think you don't need to become a bad son to be a good husband. You can be a good son and be a good
Exactly.
husband.
I always fail to understand that why is it either or? Like, why can't you be both? Women are expected to play so many roles
Exactly.
in their lives and excel at them. But why aren't like men held to that standard?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that we can hold them to that standard and that they can rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch on extended family because, like, what if both sets of parents are on board, they're super chill, they're relaxed, but extended families have opinions, issues with the choices that they're making? Like, what have you seen situations like that, and how do you deal with it?
I think that very strongly depends on the parents and the two partners, because you're like the four pillars who's going to build a house, and then there are these other people who are just walking in and trying to shake up these pillars, and you need to be strong enough to say that, okay, no, this is where I'm going to take a stand, and I don't want these people to get involved in my son's or my daughter's business. So I think it's up to what
The parents.
your
So if
parents
if the son is the mediator between the mom and the wife,
Yeah.
the parents are the mediator between the extended
Society,
family and
yeah.
society and their children.
You know, and I do understand that in Indian societies, like relatives and community, all of this is extremely important because we have been running like that for so many years.
And our respect in the community is above all else. So even if the parents are chill, like they don't want to threaten their reputation.
Yeah.
Because historically, like people do derive a lot of their sense of respect, honor, dignity through the actions of their children. So many times we say like, "Oh, you're my daughter," like you've robbed our family of our honor.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a lot of pressure on the children and also on the parents. To what are some things that parents over-index on that are actually not important to relationship success?
And I also think there's this aspect of social life, right? So if a girl is out partying, like if they see her pictures wearing dresses or probably having a drink in her hand, then that might create some amount of judgment in parents. But at the same point of time, the guy also loves partying.
There's a lot of double standards there. I think drinking, smoking, there's like very different standards for men and women. And we see that, you know, on an everyday basis.
I think these are important things that people don't discuss. They get very stuck on the fact कि आपके hobbies क्या है, आपको क्या करना पसंद है.
You guys work with a lot of clients, and many of them have gotten engaged, many of them have gotten married also. How do you advise people on the first parents meeting? Like, what do how do you counsel people for that? That's a big moment in India.
I think before we counsel them to meet the parents, it's mostly we motivate them to have this discussion with their partner to understand what the family dynamics are on both the sides and what they do not believe in and how they can support each other when these type of conflicts come in.
I think you have to be really, really transparent with your partner here.
Yeah.
Don't hide stuff from them. You're going to spend your life with them. You have to trust them. To understand your family dynamics.
I think we need to establish like a protocol wherein like you just make a playbook of your whole family.
And you should.
Meri mummy aisi hai, mere papa aisi hai, my sister's like this. These are subjects you don't want to bring up with my dadi. Like
For sure.
I would love a crash course in your family before I meet them so that I know like how to. It's not about being fake, right? It's about how do you tailor your interactions with someone. If your families are really not getting along, like both of them, for like genuine reasons, then I think the question becomes like, how compatible are both of you? Because you both came from those same families. Like there are chances you share some of the traits or some of the values or beliefs that your families have. So it's like, if there's such a huge chasm, then I would also just like consider your own compatibility.
But I would agree to disagree here because so many times, like if I'm not very close with my own parents, then I have formed my own belief systems eventually, right? If I've been studying outside of India for the past 15 years, then probably my entire concept changes. Like I'm no more in the same pattern, I'm no more in the same environment, I'm no more with the same beliefs that my parents are carrying. So probably that might also be the case.
You can be your own person.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily like just the product of
It's
your
not
parents.
always the case.
Yeah. Have parents ever asked for things like, or like maybe mothers, but I don't want a girl who has a past, who has had boyfriends in the past.
Yeah.
We hear all sorts of like wild things. I've also heard someone say that I'm okay as if they've had relationships in the past, as long as there was no physical intimacy.
How do you control for that?
घर घर थोड़ी खेलेंगे बैठ के
लूडो खेल रहे थे. Like that, I don't have an answer to these requests or whatever. Like what do I say?
But I think I do understand, like if your own son is a virgin or if your own son does not have an exposure, then probably you would want someone on the same level, right? Because you might feel insecure.
I'm sorry, like as a mother.
Why would you know?
Why are you into like your son's virginity? Like that's so strange to me. That's so strange. Interfaith matches, do you find now more and more people are open to that, or do they still rank that as like really one of their top 2 or 3 criteria?
I think I read the stats somewhere. India is still at like 5 to 10% of interfaith marriages.
Yeah.
And that's a really small number. So I don't think we're still there.
Yeah.
It's still a taboo situation. our clients, whenever they come in for an onboarding, it's so unsaid that, I want to partner in the same religion. Like sometimes we don't even discuss that question.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
just
given.
unsaid. Yeah, it's a given.
ऐसे कभी हुआ है कि like there'll be like no girls who are not my religion, and then they happen upon someone who's like very attractive, and they're like, okay, I can like go, let the religion thing go.
There has been an incident like this wherein, I do not want someone from this particular religion. I do not want someone from this particular caste. But then they were generally scrolling through the app and they probably found someone super attractive and they take a screenshot and send us that I really want to speak to this girl.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it does
Sometimes you can
overpower sometimes.
Yeah, you can bet, but then the parents get involved, and
Yeah.
then the families get involved, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Ye to nahi chalega,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I think religion is so hard line for parents. Like you said, it's literally a given, especially in matrimonial cases.
But I think it's a fact that marriage specifically, it's like biryani. Every ingredient has its importance, but if one ingredient starts overpowering, then the entire taste.
I think we can do without elaichi.
And I think like 96% of marriages in India are arranged marriages.
Still,
Yeah. And among that, 45% of them are at risk for divorce because of parental interference.
really,
This I've heard, like the strongest predictor of like divorces is family involvement, like extreme family involvement.
wow, that is so interesting. Why do you think parental interference is such a big cause of divorce? What could some examples be?
I
Just
think
like
all these factors like power play,
egos.
egos, and
कि मैंने
what
फैसला लिया तो तुम करोगे, तुम बच्चे हो,
बस कह दिया ना, कह दिया. That one. Yeah.
I think a lot of times people, it's not like they fall out of love, but it's like they don't have any fight left in them. If the families are so against the relationship or, two people being together, I think there comes a point where they want to just give up.
Exactly. Because like maintaining a marriage takes a lot of work as it is. Now, if you were constantly fighting on both sides with your parents as well, I could imagine it would strain a relationship even further and develop a sense of resentment towards your partner that like because of you, I'm dealing with excess hostility or conflict.
I think filial obligation also comes in here, which means that you feel a certain sense of duty towards your parents for what all
Everything
they've done for you. Yeah, but it's not a very healthy sentiment to have.
You mentioned communication is key.
Yeah.
We don't really have a scenario in which children can honestly speak up against their parents still without being perceived as disrespect. Yeah.
I think that's when seeing your parents as human beings help.
Yeah.
Like don't see them as God. That's not a very healthy way to look at them, because it's their first time living this life too, like on this planet.
And I think parents need to grow, because you did not know what to do with your own child when he was 5 years old. So how would you know when he's 35 years
You're
old?
still
You're
learning.
also learning.
they've also made so many mistakes in their life, still making them. So just looking at them as like humans, I think it helps. Like you also get a lot of empathy, and you feel that you understand them a lot better. I think parents also need to do better in that situation. Like you can't guilt trip your children into loving you, into being with you, into like
or using your child to live vicariously through them and to live the life that you didn't get to have,
I think like parents, I do understand the parents' perspective also, that I mean, your kids are like plants in a garden, right? You're watering them daily. You're doing everything that you can, but you can't decide on how it's going to grow its branches. You can't decide how many fruits it can grow on itself. Like that's something the plant needs to take responsibility on.
Because like also parents have a lot of opinions on like how you raise your children, I feel. Like that's a whole nother conversation. Like if you're talking about intercaste, interfaith, interreligion, it also bleeds into how are you and your partner going to raise your children, and how's that going to impact the parents? Like,
Is a place in the society more important, or is emotional maturity and mental compatibility more important for you?
right. Crazy. I mean, it's so complex.
Yeah.
Dear mother-in-laws.
It's
please,
next.
Yeah, please have an open mind.
But I think we are villainizing the mother-in-laws and the in-laws side a lot. I think it also comes to the fact on how the girl's parents have a role to play in this. I mean, you've sent your girl to another family, but are you also helping them adapt to it, or are you still on the call, like monitoring them and telling them that okay, you need to say these exact words to your partner or these exact words to your mother-in-law?
Yeah. Or don't give in, like set your boundaries,
Yeah,
be strict, like
yeah.
almost pitting the daughter against that other family.
And it's both ways. Like even girls for that matter, I think they are trying to see their own fathers and their partners. That is also a red flag, right? Because your partner is an individual. You would not expect your partner to fill in your father's shoe. Like, you want
But
an
I've seen
equal.
that a lot. Marriage is such a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
When you say you're ready to get married, are you ready to hang out with a really hot girl for some
Yeah.
time? Or are you serious about taking on the responsibility of a whole other family, of integrating someone, of
Yeah.
doing the hard work, having the really hard conversations you'll inevitably have with your parents, your extended relatives? Like, it is a task that demands maturity, that demands emotional regulation,
Yeah.
that you're not being triggered and overly reactionary in every situation. I am going to present 10 items and you need to decide keep or cut. We're going to keep 5 and cut 5. All right. Keep or cut.
Yeah.
Living with in-laws before marriage.
Cut.
I like keep, of course.
Before marriage.
Yeah,
You'd be down?
like Rocky and Rani.
It's like a good crash
Makes
course.
sense. Yeah.
Why not? If that's an option.
In-laws knowing your salary.
Keep.
Really?
Yeah, why not? Like, if I expect transparency, I would want transparency.
They know
too.
your salary, then they'll have an opinion on. Wow, okay. I don't know if I would keep
It's
that
better to
one.
have an opinion rather than
not knowing.
not have one.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Weekly mandatory family dinners.
Cut. Like, it should not be like a force.
Yeah, it should not be.
Like, I would want to go and hang out with them.
Gotcha. Parents having a final say on your wedding guest list.
Cut.
Cut.
Parents rejecting someone based on kundli matching.
Cut.
Somewhere in the middle, because I know some parents do believe in it a lot. I think it's the belief system. Like, and honestly speaking, if you have to ask my individual opinion, I would probably cut it because astrology is equal to predictions. It's not actual facts.
Right. But families do care about astrology.
Families do care about astrology.
And if there's ever problems in the marriage, they'll be like,
yeah.
told you Jupiter was in that
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Sharing passwords with parents, like phone passwords.
Cut.
Nosy.
I don't share it with my own parents,
Peak
bro.
enmeshment.
One spouse relocating for the other's parents.
Depends.
Depends.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Expecting the son to be the primary provider.
Cut.
Cut.
Family opinions. Family opinions on parenting styles.
Cut.
Cut.
Okay, you guys are pretty aligned.
Yeah.
Family WhatsApp groups for every decision.
Cut.
Definitely cut.
Discussing marital fights with parents.
Cut. Like,
Couples therapy is the way, guys.
Guys, do you know that there's therapy? You can get family therapy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Family therapy, couples therapy. Like,
Yeah.
talk to someone who doesn't have a dog in the fight. Imagine I'm bitching about my husband
Yeah.
to my mom or my sister. And then I resolve that fight with my husband, and now my mom and sister hate my husband.
yeah.
Which happens a lot, I think.
Parents attending the first meeting.
First meet.
Cut.
Like the first time two people ever meet.
Cut.
No?
Cut. I think you're very super conscious when there are like so many people.
And you're
here.
anyway so conscious, like even if you go by yourself, like bringing in other people is just like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like
Yeah.
going anti like the whole tradition of arranged marriage though. Because in arranged marriage, like
yeah.
parents are always there.
Yeah.
This was so much fun, you guys.
Yay.
Had the best time talking about families.
Yeah.
There's always drama, but it's always interesting. Some of the best gossip that I've ever heard.
Don't
Is-
hate us, mummies and daddies.
Sorry, mommies.
Thank you for watching another episode of Ask the Matchmaker. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to hit subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave in the comment section below what more topics and tricky questions you'd like us to pose to our matchmakers next time. We'll see you later. Bye.